Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into Pi Network.
Oh,
This cryptocurrency project that's been generating a ton of buzz,
right.
especially with, this recent open mainnet launch of theirs.
Yeah.
They're claiming to have over 100 apps ready to go.
Wow.
Millions of users and, this whole vision of Pi being used for everyday transactions. So
It's certainly an ambitious goal.
yeah,
And, there's a lot of questions swirling around about whether they can actually pull it off.
exactly.
Yeah.
And to help us unpack all of this, we're lucky enough to have an exclusive interview with the Pi Network co-founders themselves.
Oh, wow.
So let's jump right in.
Okay.
One of the big questions is how Pi Network plans to achieve mass adoption with this, ecosystem of apps that they're building.
Right.
They're putting a lot of emphasis on the Pi browser.
Well, the Pi browser is interesting because it's designed to be the central hub for the entire Pi Network experience.
Oh.
It's not just a browser in the traditional sense. It's also a platform for accessing Pi apps and managing your Pi wallet.
So it's like a gateway to the entire Pi ecosystem,
Exactly.
all in one place.
Exactly. And they've integrated the Pi wallet
Okay.
directly into the browser, which means users can make in-app payments seamlessly and securely.
Yep.
They're really trying to make it as user-friendly as possible,
Yeah,
even for people who are brand new to cryptocurrency.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about people who aren't using the Pi browser?
Right.
How do they access these apps?
That's where Mainnet comes in.
Yeah.
It's a system that allows Pi apps to be visible and accessible on traditional web browsers.
Okay.
So even if you're not a Pi user, you can still interact with these apps
Okay.
and potentially get drawn into the Pi network.
So it's like building a bridge between the Pi world
Exactly.
and the rest of the internet.
Right.
Okay, that's the app side of things. But let's talk about the Pi token itself.
Okay.
With millions of these tokens already out there, how do they plan to prevent hyperinflation?
Yeah.
Which is always a concern with cryptocurrency.
Well, they've implemented a few strategies to address that.
Right.
One is a declining token issuance model,
Okay.
where the rate at which new Pi tokens are created decreases over time.
Okay.
This helps control the overall supply.
So the idea is to create scarcity as the network grows.
Precisely.
Okay.
And they've also made identity verification
Okay.
mandatory for all Pi users.
Right.
This is known as Know Your Customer, or KYC.
Oh.
And it's a common practice in the financial world to prevent fraud and money laundering.
Okay.
In the context of Pi, it helps ensure that each user has only one account,
Right.
which further limits the potential for token manipulation.
That's interesting. So they're combining a controlled supply
Right?
with measures to prevent artificial inflation through fake accounts.
Exactly.
But they're also encouraging people to actively use the network.
Absolutely. They have this dynamic mining mechanism that adjusts mining rates based on how much users are contributing to the network.
Okay.
The more you use Pi apps, engage in security circles, and participate in the ecosystem, the higher your mining rate will be.
So it's a way to reward active users and encourage network growth while still managing the token supply.
Right.
It seems like they put a lot of thought into this.
Yeah.
Now, one of the biggest claims they're making is about widespread merchant adoption.
Okay.
They say they envision Pi being accepted by merchants all over the world.
Wow.
How realistic is that?
Well, they point to PiFest 2024 as evidence of their progress.
Okay.
During this event, they had over 27,000 active sellers and 28,000 test merchants
Wow.
in 160 countries using Pi for transactions.
Okay.
Over 950,000 pioneers participated, showcasing the potential for real-world usage.
Those are some impressive numbers.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're already testing the waters with real-world transactions, at least on a local level.
Right?
But this open mainnet launch took a long time to arrive.
Right.
Why did they wait so long?
They call this period the enclosed network phase,
Okay.
and it was a deliberate choice.
Okay.
They wanted to focus on building a robust and secure network with real utility before opening it up to the public.
Okay.
It's a different approach than many other crypto projects
Right.
that rush to market.
So it was about building a solid foundation first,
Exactly.
rather than getting caught up in hype.
Exactly. And during this time,
Yeah.
they achieved some significant milestones. They enabled pioneers to complete their KYC verification, fostered the development of those 100+ apps we talked about, and started onboarding merchants.
Right.
They were laying the groundwork for this open mainnet launch.
It's interesting to see how they've prioritized building the ecosystem first.
Yeah.
Okay, we've talked about the apps, the tokenomics, and merchant adoption. But what about the benefits for merchants specifically? Why would they choose Pi over, say, stablecoins, which are already gaining traction in the payment space?
They emphasize the sheer scale of the Pi network, with over 60 million engaged pioneers.
Wow.
10 million of whom have already migrated to the mainnet.
Okay.
They have a massive potential customer base.
That's a huge number of potential users for any merchant to tap into.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they argue that the seamless user experience within the Pi ecosystem is a major advantage.
Okay.
It's all designed to be simple and intuitive, which could make it more appealing for merchants than dealing with the complexities of other cryptocurrencies.
So they're betting on ease of use and accessibility
as
their key differentiators.
They believe that these factors, combined with the growing ecosystem of Pi apps and services, will make Pi a compelling option for merchants worldwide.
We've covered a lot of ground here, but I'm curious, knowing all this, do you think Pi has what it takes to succeed?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It all comes down to whether they can deliver on their promises. Right.
Can they achieve true mass adoption? Can they maintain the value of the Pi token? Can they create a thriving ecosystem where people actually use Pi for everyday transactions? It's a bold vision, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Only time will tell if they can pull it off, but it's definitely a story worth watching.
Yeah, for sure. It really is. And you know, something that struck me during our deep dive into their materials is this emphasis on community.
Yeah.
Pi Network seems to be built on this idea of collective effort and shared benefits.
That's a great observation. It's like they're trying to create a sense of ownership among their users.
Right.
You know, these pioneers, as they call them.
Exactly. And that sense of community could be a powerful driver of adoption.
Yeah.
If people feel like they're part of something bigger, part of a movement, they might be more likely to stick with it and contribute to its success.
It's fascinating, almost like a social experiment.
Yeah.
Can you build a decentralized, community-driven cryptocurrency that genuinely empowers individuals?
And can it compete with the established giants like Bitcoin and Ethereum? That's a big question.
Huge question. And that's what makes Pi Network so intriguing.
Right.
They're not just focused on, speculation and profit. They're trying to build a system with real-world utility that can benefit a wide range of people.
And that focus on accessibility is key.
Yeah.
The fact that you can mine Pi on your phone without any specialized hardware or technical expertise is a pretty radical concept.
Yeah.
It opens up the world of cryptocurrency to an entirely new audience.
It really does feel like they're democratizing cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Making it something anyone can participate in, regardless of their background or resources.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that aligns with their overall vision of creating a more inclusive and equitable financial system.
It's a bold vision, no doubt.
Right.
But let's be realistic.
Okay.
There are skeptics out there, people who think Pi Network sounds too good to be true, that it's all just hype and empty promises.
And it's understandable to be skeptical.
Yeah.
The cryptocurrency space is full of scams and failed projects.
Oh, yeah.
So how do we separate the legitimate projects from the noise? What should people look for when evaluating something like Pi Network?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
What are the red flags and what are the green flags?
Well, for starters, look at the team.
Okay.
In this case, the Pi Network co-founders are Stanford PhDs with a strong background in technology and social networking.
Right.
That's a positive sign.
It gives you some confidence that this isn't just a random group of people with a half-baked idea.
Right. Then look at the technology itself. Is it innovative? Does it solve a real problem? Does it have a clear use case? Pi Network has developed its own blockchain, its own consensus algorithm, and a whole ecosystem of apps.
Right.
They're not just copying what others have done.
We're building something from the ground up.
Exactly.
Which is always a good sign.
And finally, consider the community. Okay. Is it engaged? Is it growing? Does it have a strong sense of purpose?
Right.
Pi Network has millions of users worldwide who are actively participating in the project.
Whoa.
That level of enthusiasm and support is hard to fake.
So a strong team, innovative technology, and a passionate community are all good indicators.
Absolutely. But it's important to remember that none of this guarantees success.
Right.
There are still challenges ahead for Pi Network. They need to continue building out their ecosystem, attract more merchants, and prove that Pi has real value in the marketplace.
They need to turn that potential into tangible results.
Exactly.
And even if they do, The cryptocurrency space is inherently risky.
Exactly. The value of any cryptocurrency can fluctuate dramatically.
Yeah.
And there's always the possibility of scams and security breaches.
So it's essential to do your research, understand the risks involved,
Right.
and never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Couldn't agree more. It's crucial to be informed and cautious when navigating the world of cryptocurrency.
And to be critical.
Yeah.
Don't just buy into the hype. Ask questions, do your due diligence, and form your own conclusions based on the facts.
Wise words, and that's precisely what we aim to do here on The Deep Dive.
Yes.
We dig into the details, explore multiple perspectives, and help you make sense of this complex and evolving world.
We provide the information,
Right.
but ultimately it's up to each individual to decide what they believe and how they want to participate.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
The power is in the hands of the people.
It really is. And when you think about it, Pi Network's journey is a reflection of the broader cryptocurrency story.
How so?
Well, it started with a small group of people who had a vision to create a more accessible and inclusive form of digital currency.
Right. Much like the initial idea behind Bitcoin.
Yeah.
To empower individuals and challenge the traditional financial system.
Exactly. And like Bitcoin in its early days,
Yeah.
Pi Network faced its share of skepticism and doubt.
Yeah.
But they persisted, built a community, and developed a working product.
Right.
And now they face the ultimate test, achieving mainstream adoption and truly making a global impact.
It's a pivotal moment for them and potentially for the whole cryptocurrency industry.
If they succeed, it could inspire a whole new wave of innovation and adoption in the crypto world.
Imagine a world where cryptocurrency is used for everyday transactions.
Yeah.
Where people seamlessly send and receive value across borders without needing banks or intermediaries.
That's the dream, isn't it? A more equitable and efficient financial system.
Right.
Powered by technology.
And Pi Network wants to be a driving force in making that future a reality.
We'll have to see how it all unfolds, but one thing's for sure, it's a story worth following closely.
Absolutely. It has all the elements of a technological thriller: innovation, disruption, ambition, and uncertainty.
At the heart of it all lies a fundamental question. Can a mobile-first, community-driven cryptocurrency like Pi truly revolutionize global commerce? Can it become the world's most widely used cryptocurrency as its founders envision?
Yeah.
That's the challenge they've set for themselves.
Oh, it's a big one.
You know, we've explored their ecosystem,
Right.
The tokenomics, the challenges they face, the enormous potential.
We've examined the arguments for and against their approach.
But in the end, the question of whether Pi Network will succeed is up to each individual to decide.
Absolutely.
You know, do your research.
Stay informed.
Stay informed. Form your own conclusions based on the information available.
And as always, we're here to help guide you through the twists and turns of this incredible journey.
It really is. Well,
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Pi Network.
until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those critical questions.